So you were talking to Jim, you were saying?
Yeah, so we just had our coaching call with Jim yesterday, and I'd had another call with him right after the 10X conference.
Yeah.
So he was working overtime for me. We were talking about some
He
other.
never works overtime for me. I'm just saying. I'll call him. Hey, Carl, it's after hours. Sorry, man. So good for you, man.
That's right. I got some extra time with him right after the conference. We went over a couple of other things in my business that he thought that I might should do, and it was really sound advice. But I told Jim, I said, Jim, I haven't seen you this good in a long, long time.
Mm.
And um, he said, you know what? You know why I was good? Because Carl was there. My coach was there,
Mm.
and I needed to be good for him. So
Mm.
that's a feather in your hat there, Carl.
Brother, that's a big feather too.
Yeah.
That's a big feather.
Yeah, like I said, he was phenomenal. I had it's been he was he was on.
It's energized,
Yeah,
energized.
he was
But
energized.
that's what happens. That's what happens when you fly in a flock, or as he
Yep.
says it, when you run in a pack. That there's nothing like hanging out with other successful or other people that want to be
Yeah.
successful, right? There's
Yep.
nothing replaces that energy.
Yeah.
Like
I,
just
I would
nothing.
agree. I would
Yeah.
agree 100%. And I told you, I left coaching for about 3 years, and it doesn't take long for you to start to realize, getting a little bit chubbier, or this is slipping a little bit. This is not where it should be, and no one's seeing your blind spots. Um, that's really, to me, that's where coaching is the most valuable. Is you got
Mhm.
some guys that are out there that can really call attention to some
Mhm.
blind spots that you don't
Mhm.
see. So
I've often thought that it's like we're never standing still. I always think life is on an escalator that's always, by definition, moving downward.
hmm
And that if we're not stepping forward, we're not staying the same. We're going backwards.
yeah, no, I agree.
So
Yeah,
anyway, so I'm talking with Tuan here, and Tuan, help me make sure pronounce your last name for me.
it's pronounced win, just like Win.
I like that, man.
Yeah,
Tuan Nguyen.
yeah,
So, and am I saying the first part right?
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
I thought so.
yes, sir.
So just bringing our listeners up to speed here. Tuan and I met at an event, and we've known each other in the past. Haven't
Yep,
talked in quite some time,
yep.
and we spent a little time catching up. And dude, um, so I remember I asked you, well, how you doing? How's business going? And you're like, well, gosh, I'm just doing okay. I'm kind of
Yeah.
like not okay, and I'm just kind of getting by, and I need to really give it the step things up. And I said, yeah, well, give me a number. And I was
Right.
expecting like, well, I goose egg this month, and
Right.
and I did one the month before, something like that, which is okay, right? We that happens, right? You
Yeah.
said, dude, I'm down to 10.
Yeah.
And I said, wait, you're closing 10 for the month. So just we usually use a number of $3,000 per closing, some more,
Yeah.
some less, but we just
Yep.
use that number. And so it's like, all right, well, 30 grand for the month isn't anything to sneeze at. And man, I tell you, I was thinking about this. I think it's really important to pat ourselves on the back from time to time.
Oh yeah. Well, um, this is funny. I thought about this. Part of my story, and part of why we're here today is just just my the immigration story that has brought me here to the United States. But a lot of my Asian friends will say this: when you grow up in an Asian household, you will never hear from your parents that they're proud of you, right?
Mm,
And you'll never hear the words "I love you." But the you know that they are proud of you. You know
Mm,
that they do love you, but you'll never hear it.
mm.
And if there's an Asian out there listening to this podcast right now, they are laughing their heads off right now
So they're
because
going, dude, that is
it's
so
a
dead
thousand
on.
percent true, right?
Very,
It's so, and that's what we've had to deal with. But so patting myself on the back, that's hard for me to do.
mm,
But also that's why there's coaching, because the coaches will say, hey, that's a good month. You hit all of your goals. You hit your income goals. You hit your savings goal. Your give goals, and that is, you know, um, that just gives you, just gives you something else to kind of, um,
yeah.
uh, um, it gives you more motivation.
Yeah, I hear
So
you. I hear you. Yeah,
yeah,
I always kind of equated it to, the problem with people like me and you is we're always pointing at the horizon. That's where I want to go, right?
yeah,
Just a little further, a little further, a little further. And the problem with the horizon, if we're on a boat moving out to, moving out from shore, and we're paddling and paddling and paddling, we're heading to the horizon. We never get the horizon's always moving.
right.
Because when we got started, it's like, dude, closing three a month would be awesome. And then we get there and go, okay, well, this is not, I need eight. I need eight. And we
Yep.
get there and I need 10. I need 10.
Yeah.
And I think I think it's important that when we're paddling the boat, that every now and then we pause, look behind us, look to see how far we've come from shore and go, okay, okay,
100%.
we're doing good here. So,
Yeah.
brother, I just want to let you know I'm super proud of you, and I loved hearing a little bit of your story. So, how long you been in the States, and where'd you come from?
Yeah. So we've been in the States now. I've been in the States now for almost 45 years.
Well, dude,
So
you're
I'm basically right. I'm basically, American, right?
oh, for sure.
But and
And where'd you come from?
a little small town in Vietnam called Vinh Long.
Mhm.
It's right there at the Mekong Delta. Um, and yeah, it's where I was born, where we still have. So my father came from 12 brothers and sisters, and my mother came from 12 brothers and sisters. So I've got
Holy
a lot
cow!
of aunts and uncles, number one, and then I've got even more cousins. Um, but
Holy cow!
our story was, Vietnam is a communist country back in 1980. My parents just thought that they wanted more for their family, so we snuck out in
Mhm.
the middle of the night.
Mhm.
Um, and they were basically smuggling ourselves out. So we would
Mhm.
go to one part of, um, you know of the port, changing boats, and just trying
Mhm.
to, essentially just sneaking out.
Wow. Do,
Um,
do you do you remember doing that? Were you old enough that you remember doing that?
I remember my mom telling the story of,
Mhm.
you know me sitting on the motorcycle, asking mom where we're heading, and I remember her saying that, um, um, she said that we were going to see my grandfather's house, or going
Mhm.
to my grandfather's house, and I said, we're going the wrong way if we're going to
Mhm.
my grandfather's house. So, I kind of knew something was up, because you don't wake up in the middle of the night and all
Mhm.
trying to be quiet and
Yeah.
and all that. Um, so that we spent some time in a refugee camp. Stayed there for a little bit, and um, um, waiting on sponsorships. And back then, there were a lot of churches who were,
Mhm.
just picking families to sponsor, and a little church in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, St. Stephen's Episcopal Church, and I actually was just there this past weekend. One of the ladies that was really instrumental in bringing us over, she turned 90.
Mhm.
And called and said, "Hey, it be? I'd love it for you guys to come back to my 90th birthday." And we went and we told old stories of how we just came over here. But so St. Stephen's brought us over to Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and that's where I grew up. That's where my parents are still today. And
Now, where do you live now?
I live I think of even a smaller town, Johnson City, Tennessee.
Hmm.
It's at the very tip of Tennessee, about an hour and a half east of Knoxville, even. And we're actually closer to North Carolina and Virginia. We're about 45 minutes to the line of North Carolina and 30 minutes to the line of Virginia.
So closing 10 units, you're in what I call God's country, man. I
Oh
love it
yeah,
up there. I love it up there. I love Johnson City. I got a very,
we
very,
do too.
very the gentleman that got me in the mortgage business or introduced me to it, lives not too far from where you live.
Yeah,
His name is Ralph. And so Johnson City is not a big area. Like it's not
very small. Yeah,
very.
it's so uh, in line with Johnson City. There's two other cities, Kingsport and Bristol, and then they call it the Tri-Cities, right? And both all three cities are very similar in population, about 60,000 per city. Um,
So closing 10 loans in what I would consider a rural-ish area. I mean, dude, there's more people that live in my subdivision than literally
right.
than your town or,
Yep.
or the one next to where I live.
Yep.
So so in a relatively small area, closing 10 loans for the month. Are all those people well, actually my first question, are most of them purchased, most of them refi? Like what's your mixture these days?
Most of it, all of it right now, really, for me are purchases, and I don't do whole the refis that I do are clients that are coming back. They
Hmm.
originally bought their house through me,
Hmm.
and they just want to refinance.
So so closing a good amount with somewhat of a, I'm not going to say sparse population, but it's not
Mhm.
Atlanta.
Right.
Um, do all of them come from that area, or do you reach outside that area and go to like Knoxville or Nashville, some of the bigger cities?
No, I'm here.
Very interesting.
Very rarely will I do a loan that is outside of my Tri-Cities area. So,
Hmm.
Kingsport is about 30 minutes from Johnson City, and Bristol's about 30 minutes from Johnson City. Um, so very rarely do I go outside of my boundaries, I guess.
Where does most of your business come from? Like, is it mostly past database, mostly realtors, financial planners, attorneys,
Yeah.
consumer direct? Like, where just people from your church or something like that? Like, where does most of it come from?
So most of my business, and I've been taught this, and I've been trained this, and I've been coached this, but most of my business comes from realtor relationships,
Mhm.
and it's not just on the surface type of relationships. I've been doing this for 25 years. It is deep relationships. We go deep with each other. We know about our friends and our families and our struggles. And that's what I really, at the end of the day, that's what makes me love what I do is those relationships that are so deep.
Hmm. And how many how many agents like if we took a snapshot of the last say quarter,
Hmm.
give or take last 3 months or so, how many different agents refer to you? Is it a small handful that refer you a lot? Is it a lot of onesies, twosies that just you got a bunch of them, or somewhere in between? Like how does most of that pan out?
So I would, when we look back at just last month, right, to those 10 loans we did, um, I would say. 6 of those came
Okay.
from close relationships,
Okay.
repeat. They love me, I love them, right?
And
Um,
and you're talking about referrals or past database?
Referrals,
Okay.
realtor referrals.
So 6 of the 10 came from realtor referrals that you work with a lot.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
The other four?
The other, I would say one was what I call just a business referral, just a businessman or a business person in the community that knew of me, that knew what I did, and referred me to a
Like
buyer.
the lady that owns or the guy that owns the laundromat down the street kind of thing.
Yep.
I get it. I get
Yep.
it. Do you target those people in your prospecting? Like, do you target business owners or just living there? Hey, if I'm at the laundromat, why not get to know them a little bit, kind of thing.
What works for me so well is when I'm in the community and I'm talking to someone that's just, like a business owner, and we have a conversation. And what I love to do is I love to, I'll come back to the office, write them a quick note.
Mm,
Write them a quick note. Hey, love that conversation we just had. Reference it. And send them a note with my card in it. And the last line is, hey, if you need any, if you know of anyone that might need my services, give them this card. Um,
mm,
number two things on that is that um everybody loves receiving something in the mail,
you
right?
bet.
And then
Which almost never
um
happens anymore, by the
right,
way. Yeah.
exactly. But and I belong to the local Rotary Club here.
Okay. Okay.
I do the same thing. You sit down with somebody at lunch, you have a conversation with them. It's an interesting conversation. It's easy just to write a note about it and send it to them. Just
Are you naturally an extroverted person, or are you? I'm what's called an extroverted introvert. So my nature is very introverted, but
hmm
I can like I'm at an event or if I'm talking to somebody or doing doing a lunch or coffee, I can pull myself out of that, without too much effort.
I think I
But my
think I'm
natural,
very yeah, yeah.
where do you fall in that?
I think I'm very similar to you in that respect. In that I certainly would prefer to kind of um you know be introverted.
Mhm.
And if I have to, right, I can go
Yeah.
out and carry a conversation and keep it going.
Apparently doing it very well, as a matter of fact. But
Some
that's it's actually interesting. I find I know Jimmy's the same way.
Yeah.
I find that a lot of top producing salespeople of all, not just mortgages, but all areas, I find that's actually way more of a common trait
hmm
than the, quote, life of the party, type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, every now and then, like I got a neighbor, he sells medical supplies, and he's just a hoot, and he's always not in a weird way or obnoxious way, right? But he's kind of the life of the party, and he's always good for a joke and things like that.
hmm
But I find this introvertedness is a pretty popular thing. Hey, let me ask you this: so how many? So when you're prospecting for these agents and other business people, do you have a quota that you give yourself of? I need to meet with this many people, and are they new relationships? Are they you just going deeper with old? Because you've got a limited supply in that one, and I'm going to say
hmm
small-ish area.
hmm
What does that look like? Like, what does your week look like? And are they new or are they existing?
Yeah. So this year, I read a small book. It talked about the 1%.
Hmm. Tell, tell me,
Um,
tell me what you mean by that.
well, um, whatever it is you're doing, right? If and I took it this way. And I kind of read the book and then kind of just spun it in my own way, in my own interpretation, and then just said, I'm just going to do this is going to be my 1%. And
Hmm.
I read that book in January, and I said this is going to be my 1%, and that 1% was this: I was going to call 10 additional real estate agents a day, a day.
Mm,
So I'm in coaching, so I've got to call so many on Monday, right? But then after that Monday, I'm
mm.
going to call 10 more. On Tuesday, I'm going to call 10 more after I do my Tuesday update calls.
So you meet your quota. I've called a letter or two letters to the past database on Wednesday or whatever day that you're doing it
Yep,
on. I'm finished. Now let me do 10 more.
correct.
10 more dials or 10 more conversations.
10 more conversations.
Wow.
It's and it's fun because I'm starting to see that come back.
I
So
bet
so
you are.
back to back to tracking where those 10 closings came from. The other three came from cold calls
Mm,
of real estate agents.
mm.
So I just cold called them. You can go on the internet, um, and just I just called them, introduced myself to them, and said, hey, uh, if you don't mind, I'm going to send you my contact information.
Okay.
Use me as a resource,
Okay.
and I did that. Um, and use me as a resource. Let me know if you have any questions. And then it's starting to, I'm getting phone calls off of those just quick cold call conversations, and that's been my 1% this
And,
whole
and so
year.
and so and so the give me again. So like the icebreaker conversation. So if you're calling somebody that has never heard of you,
Mm-hmm.
what's that? What's that icebreaker first part of the conversation?
It's very direct, very direct. I'm a mortgage lender here in Johnson City. I'm looking at the website. It looks like you're newer, or it looks like you're newer to Keller Williams, or
Okay.
whatever.
Okay. Okay.
I just wanted to call and introduce myself to you. I'm a mortgage lender. If you don't mind, I'd love to send you my contact information. I've been doing this for 25 years. If you have any lending questions, if you're buyers, if you're
Mm,
working with a buyer that loves a house and wants to put an offer in on it and they don't have a pre-approval, here's my contact info. So, if you do that, you know, 10 times, 10 times in addition, every day, it comes, it's kind of like the compound effect.
mm,
Great book, by the way. So it's kind of like the compound effect. I'm starting to reap the benefits of it now.
mm. This is reminding me of a conversation I heard Don Henley, who was him and Joe Walsh, the leader of the Eagles.
Yep.
He was the
Uh-huh.
Eagles, right? Huge Eagles fan. And I remember watching him on an interview, and he was talking about writing songs because, uh, uh, yeah, Don Henley wrote a ton of, made a fortune, not just singing, but writing songs.
Hmm.
And he said early in their career, they thought songs would just come to you. Like you'd see, and I'm just using his words.
Yep.
You'd see a pretty girl and you think a song would just come to you. Or you see an old friend and a song would just come to you. He said, come to find out, it doesn't work that way. It's just good old fashioned elbow grease. It takes time. You get in front of the piano and you just write one note at a time and play it over and over and over, and then the second note comes, and then you play
Yep.
those two over and over and over, then the third note comes. He said just good old elbow grease. That's kind of what
Yep.
I'm getting off of you here, Tuan,
Hmm.
is that I see so many loan officers going after what I call magic beans. Like if I buy this magic bean, they're going to
Right.
come begging to work for me, and if I buy that magic
Right.
bean and send that magic bean out, I'm going to be closing 32 loans next month. And it just isn't real. There's no such things as magic beans.
Yeah.
It's good old. There's tools, right? I'm not
Yep.
for sure, but it's good old magic, or it's good old elbow grease.
Hmm.
Speaking of tools, are there any tools for you that stands out? Like, is there? some sort of program or software or some sort of system that's kind of a needle mover for you?
Um, no, I'm kind of old school in that in that way. My the tool for me is just a cell phone.
Oh, yeah, that works.
I
Yeah.
thought about this the other day actually. Thought about just phone burner, just
Hmm.
plugging everything in,
Hmm.
and yeah, I would certainly be more efficient if I did that. But no, just old school. Um, I've got my cell phone. I'm looking people up, and I'm making those phone calls.
Yeah. When you're calling real estate agents, is there a minimum production number that works in your business? Like they have to be closing X amount of buy sides to be worthy of you putting on your your work hat.
Well, if Jim's listening, it would be six buy sides.
And if
Um,
Jim's not listening, what would it be?
so, um, if Jim's not listening, I actually find value in the newer agents,
Interesting.
because at the very beginning, they're going to close friends and family, and they're going to need a experienced loan officer to help those friends and families, and they're not going to know anything,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Um,
Very interesting.
but yeah, I there's a lot in my pipeline that hey, this was that real estate agent's first deal,
Mm.
all
Isn't that
right?
interesting?
Yeah,
So do you take the time to meet with them face to face also?
nope, I don't,
So strictly phone
So
work.
yeah, so if they do enough, I'm gonna try to meet with them, right? But if I don't know them, and they haven't closed anything, it's just a phone conversation. It's a text message of my contact, and occasionally I'll touch base with them, with maybe a text or a phone call later on, just to say, hey, how are things? You got anything going? Um, but I realized I got to be more efficient. I can't sit down and have coffee with somebody that hasn't closed the deal yet, right?
Right, right.
So I realized, hey, maybe just a quick conversation over the phone, sending my contact information is a little bit better. Um, and it's working.
So when you were closing, like we also I always think of like most people as this podcast tend to be the higher producers, but we oftentimes I get little notes from kind notes from people that are just getting into the business.
Hmm.
So for somebody that's just getting in the business, which for you, which did you find, or maybe somebody's been in the business for a long time,
Hmm.
which did you find was harder? Going from zero loans to three a month, or going from three to 10? Which was the most challenging for you? Different challenges, I get it, but which was the hardest? Hey there. Hey, if you're loving the tips so far, be sure to hit that subscribe button right down there and then tap the little bell so that you never miss out on more free cool tips coming your way. Also, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment beneath there. Let me know what you think or tell me what you'd like to hear next.
If we're talking about um, getting loans the right way, which to me is referral based
Yeah.
from um, relationships,
Yeah.
it's gonna be from the one to three.
Brother, I couldn't agree with you more. I
Yeah,
think going from one to three or from zero to three, it was hard.
yeah,
Like it was really hard. And then once I got that part, scaling from three to 10, and
yeah,
then again, from 10 to like,
yeah. Yeah, that's the next step. And I've done it once before. We've all benefited from the COVID years, right? But the goal for me now is to that next step is from 10 to 15,
what's your
12 to
biggest challenge
15.
with that? What's your biggest challenge?
Leveraging my time,
Hmm.
having people on my team and coaching them and training them the process and system that I've been taught
So
essentially.
closing 10, what does your team look like? Are we talking like an assistant or a shared assistant or a company processor, your own processor? What does it look like for you?
So there's a company processor and then one LP2.
Okay. So
Yeah.
once you have one assistant and a processor.
Yeah.
I've always kind of liked the company processor myself
Yeah,
because
it can get expensive though.
it can, and you make a good point. It can't, or let me rephrase it. I liked having my own processor, but I like having the company processor as a backup that
Right.
when that person goes on vacation or maternity leave or they call in sick or
Yep.
whatever, they have a flat tire and they can't show up today or something.
Yep.
Well, I love going where the company has some, I got a plan B there that can
Right.
step in at the drop of a hat. So
Yep.
good for you, man.
Yeah, and that's changed a little bit, right? Company processors has changed a little bit in the that's evolved quite a bit.
Hmm.
So
What is the in your system, how does it work? Like, are you taking all the applications? Somebody else take the applications, or like when do you get it, or when do you hand it over?
um, most of the time, I am taking well, if I'm available, right? I'm
Hmm.
taking the application. If not, my LP2 will make that phone call and
Okay.
and take the application.
Okay.
So we want to be, that client needs to know and understand that they are a priority. So we want to get to them as soon as we can.
Speed of contact is more important than anything else.
Yep.
I one of my mentors long ago said, Carl, you're just not that important. They don't want to talk to you. They just want the money.
That's right. That's
You're
true.
not important. The money's important.
That's right.
And that was
Absolutely.
because then, because I did the same thing. I said, well, when I'm available, I'll take it. And when I'm not, my loan partner at the
Hmm.
time was Laura, a wonderful woman named Lori. And then again, one of my mentors said, well, if Lori can do it some of the time, why don't you have her do it all the time? And then when your newfound time, go make the phone ring.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. And that's that will evolve just like we talked about going from 10 to 15. Um, Going from 10 to 15 would mean the LP2 is going to take all of the
so
applications,
you know what you
right?
so you know what the secret to that
Um,
is, man? You know what the secret is?
what's that?
The more closings you have, the less you have to do. You have to do less.
Right.
You can't do more for sure.
Hmm.
You can't even do the same because you run out of time.
Yep.
So it's required to actually do less to get more.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
so counterintuitive, and I think that's what's hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Well, you're doing more of the sales, right?
Yeah. Mhm,
Than
mhm.
you are in the loan. Yeah, and it's I was talking to someone earlier today about systems, right? Encompass or we're using Octane and there's some other ones out there and um a lot of people say, oh, we love Octane because of this or we hate Encompass because of this, and I was like, I don't know enough about either. And it's designed that way, right?
Good for you,
You
man.
know, my LP needs to know it, my processor needs to know it, underwriters needs to know it, but I don't plan to be in that system long enough to be an
To learn
expert
it.
an
Yeah, to learn
expert
it.
on it,
Mhm.
so yeah, my buddy and I were talking about that earlier, and it's like 100%.
Mm.
That's not where we need to be. So
Hey, so you're talking to tens of thousands of loan officers across the nation, and you said,
hey, by the way, I can't believe I'm on this. I cannot believe I'm on this podcast.
"Oh,
I'm a
dude,
big fan. I listen to it when I'm working out. Every morning. I wake up at 4 to go work out Monday through Friday, and I can't believe. I listen to all the rock stars. Chris Haynes is a friend of mine. I listen to him a lot. But yeah, I can't believe I'm on this podcast. It's
Well,
amazing.
you're certainly you've earned the right to. That's I was going to say the privilege. You've earned the right to for sure. So but giving one, so you got this large audience, and if you was to start a sentence that said, "Hey, gang, one thing I really want to tell you is,"
Hmm. Get a coach.
hmm,
And then can I say
two.
number two
Because
thing?
the first one almost seems a little bit self-serving, and
Right, right. I would say get a coach, and then I would say um, um, call do your theme days.
and if somebody's new to the podcast, give a 30-second explanation of what you just said.
Do your theme days. So every Monday you call real for me I call 50 real estate agents every Monday. Um, every Tuesday you call your Tuesday updates. Which I've also picked up calling the title company on Tuesday updates.
Yeah.
That's a game changer too, by the way.
Just FYI, that's been my number one source of new business.
That's awesome.
Hmm. They don't refer me deals. They refer me to agents.
Right.
Or yet they refer me to pissed off agents, which is
That's right.
which is exactly what I'm
Yeah.
looking for. You know.
Yeah. And I've I'm late to the game. Like I just implemented that a month ago. I'm late to the calling the title company game, but um, you know, I'm doing that now. I know that for sure.
Yeah. Good for you.
Um, on Wednesdays I call my pre-approvals. On Thursdays I call my past clients. On Fridays I call VIP or business guys that are on my list to call.
Hey, so I'm going to give you a challenge here.
Hmm.
So one thing about racehorses, there's a couple things you have to do in between races, and one of those is let them rest.
Mm,
You gotta let them rest. You gotta let your
yeah.
racehorse rest. That's like in boxing, in between rounds, they take a break. They go in the corner, and their ring or their ringside or their corner person. Their
Hmm.
corner person, give you water, sponge you off, words of encouragement. We gotta rest, brother. I'm gonna tell you when I went to a 4-day work week
Hmm.
and took every Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. Brother, that was a game changer for me. That really was. And I closed more, not less, when I did that. Because number one, I told myself, all right, to do that, I got to really double down on Monday through Thursday and be
Hmm.
very specific about what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
And and when I come back on Monday, man, I'm ready to go.
Hmm.
So anyway, just
I've been to several of your conferences and I raised an eyebrow to the Friday thing. I was like,
mhm,
what?
mhm,
And it was intriguing to me to hear that and um to hear how you've structured that
mhm,
4 day week.
mhm.
Um, Absolutely. I
Yeah,
um
just something to
let
ponder.
me yeah, well, let me kind of say this. I go hard.
I
I
bet you.
do. I go
Mhm,
hard, and here's the reason why. And being an immigrant is part of it.
mhm,
I When I get tired, um, when it's not a very good day, I tell myself that my parents did not take the risk that they took
mhm,
for me to take it easy.
mhm.
um, you know what I mean?
You're
I
showing
gotta.
honor. You're showing honor
I
here.
am.
Hmm.
I am. Yeah, and
I love that, man.
so, but my wife and daughter would love that, and
Hmm.
that's what's pulling me
Hmm.
in considering the 4 day week versus going hard.
Yeah. And I can kind of in a tongue-in-cheek way, I kind of relate to the immigrant. So me and my family, we came from the swamps, literally. It's an area of Florida called the Green Swamp.
Hmm.
And so I tell people we came out of the swamps into civilization about the same time that you were coming here. I was
Yeah.
becoming a member of civilized society. So and I say that kind of tongue in cheek. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any uh one thing, I hope it's okay to talk about this. I struggle
Sure.
sometimes. So one thing I've noticed sometimes is I'll be talking to somebody of some ethnic group, and all of us
Hmm.
come from some ethnic group, right? All of
Yep.
us. Some of
Absolutely.
us
Absolutely.
European, some
Yep.
Asian, South American, like whatever.
Yep.
Uh, are you tempted sometime to only work with other people of your ethnic group? Does that come not into play at
It's
all, or how does that work?
I actually try not to. So, and I say that tongue in cheek, because I know it's going to be a hard deal, right? And I'll stereotype the whole thing, right? Um, Number one, they're going to be self-employed. Number two, it's typically some type of nail business that they're in. Um, they're going to um, they're going to have a very expensive car that they financed, right? And then they're going to try to beat me up on my rate.
Dude,
And I'm like, hey, you're paying $600 a month on the car payment, and you're beating me up on my on the
uh,
rate.
yeah,
Um, but um, the the longer I've been doing this, the more and more that I do, and the
hmm
easier and easier it gets. But
hmm
still, it's it's not going to be an easy loan.
yeah.
It's
That is too fun, dude. You
yeah.
sound so much. Do you know who Kai McBride is?
Yes, I do.
I love that.
Absolutely. I've seen him on stage many
Yeah,
times.
I
Yeah.
love that man. I met Kai probably I don't know, 20 some years ago or something like that. So
Yeah.
he's just a fantastic human being, and he's a great coach.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if he's producing anymore. I think he retired from producing and went full-time coaching, but just a wonderful man, dude. And he says it a lot. I'm assuming tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
But he just repeat everything you just said. He says, and I was just
Yep.
just kind of chuckling over that. So
Yeah.
cool. All right,
Yeah.
man. Hey, is there something I try to keep these kind of the what I call treadmill time or
Yes.
or
Yep.
drive time.
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah. Is there something I should have asked you that I didn't?
Gosh. No, but I would like to, I'm always, trying to improve myself. Would like to know from you what books are out there that you would recommend.
You know, I'm more of a do guy than a read guy.
Okay.
Um, so I'm more, and I'm not saying this is the right way. I'm just saying
Hmm.
this is my way.
Yeah.
So my way is to find somebody that's successful and just copy them. And I'll let you, and this is going to sound, I don't know how this is going to come, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
And I do read books, but I'll let you read the book, and then I'll see your success, and then I'll say, Tuan, how'd you do it? And you go, well,
Right.
three things I always do. One, two, three. I go, awesome. I just saved myself some time from having to read a book. I'm more of a
I love it.
podcast guy than a book guy.
Yeah.
Um, but probably the one book I've read more than all others, and I listen to it like literally a couple times a year,
Mm.
is How to Win Friends and Influence People. That
Okay.
that is just, it just, boy, it just really covers it all, which is
Hmm.
basically how to be nice,
Okay.
how not to be a jerk. Is the bottom line on that. So,
Y- it's been a while. That's it's been a while since I've read that book, so
yeah,
I'll recycle
because I
that.
know, so like going from one or two to three to 10 took or takes leveraging,
Mm,
right? And it's leveraging other people's talents. So they leverage
yep.
you, right,
Yep.
to bring the business in, and then you leverage them, right? So
Yeah.
it's a two-way relationship, and
No
you
doubt.
leverage them to free you up so you can go get more business.
Yeah.
And going from 10 to 20, it's just more leverage.
Mm,
It's just it's doing less of the the tactile part, the
right.
tactical part, and more of the strategic part, and just like yes, just simply spend more hours having more conversation. One of my favorite questions is, what's the one specific activity you do? Here, I'll ask you that real quick. What's the
Okay.
one specific activity you do that makes you most your money? Like one specific activity. What is
Oh,
that for you?
hands down, it's just time on the phone.
Yeah. So you just answered that. You just matched the record of how quickly somebody answers that. So everybody except for two people, you and a good friend of mine, Dean Jackson, when I ask that question, everybody pauses.
Mm,
Let me, including myself when I
right.
was first asked that. Let me think.
Right.
And you just gave the exact same answer, my dear friend who does very, very well. And his response was same thing, just said it differently. I
Yeah.
said, Dean, what's the number one thing that makes you most of your money? He said,
Yeah.
having conversations, which is exactly what you just said.
Yep.
And I think to go from the 10 to the 20 is just allowing yourself even more conversations. But I would tell you, brother, I do believe it's and recharging the batteries so that I've got, you know, my leg muscles aren't burning
Right.
as I'm going into the next corner, So
I'll dig deeper on that.
yeah.
With the 4 day
Well,
work
dude, but
week.
I don't want to doubt, dude, you're doing outstanding. So I don't know exactly where 10 loans for the month falls, but I would imagine it's the top 1%, 2%, maybe at the most, at the very least, the top
It's
2%
hard. It's hard
nation.
for me to believe. It's hard
Yeah.
for me to believe that is where it's at. Sometimes I keep my head down too much, and
Hmm.
not look up and smell the flowers,
I hear you, brother.
occasionally. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
Hey, well,
yeah,
I'll challenge you on the Friday thing.
yeah.
Let's in the next 90 days, like where are we at here? Let's say March,
Uh-huh.
half day Friday,
Oh, I like it.
half day
I
Friday.
like it. That's
And
definitely a
half day, by the way,
stepping stone.
half day isn't going home at 1, it's going home at noon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So good for
My
you, man.
my that might be um that's definitely a goal. The reason that I think that I can attain that is, my daughter's a senior in high school now, and then
Mm,
she's wrapping it up, and
mm,
her schedules on Fridays will be where
mm,
she ends pretty early, and
mm,
so yeah, that's interesting.
mm.
I appreciate that challenge.
Hey, if you don't mind me asking, and again, we can edit anything out.
Yeah, sure.
Uh, so what's the daughter's plans for next year?
She is headed to um SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design,
Good for you, man.
in Savannah, and it's a private art school that she's gonna um she understands that she's not gonna be a starving artist, right? And
Hmm.
she's very responsible about
Mm,
picking something that's gonna be income making, I guess.
mm,
And but yeah, that's where she's going, and I'm excited for her to go there because they're on quarters system, not semesters. And so Carl, you and I were talking about, taking a trip, back to Vietnam.
hmm.
That's gonna align perfectly.
Next
So
November, right?
next
Next November.
November, yeah.
Hmm.
So next November, we're gonna go, and that'll be her first time. And I told you before, um, when I went as the summer between my sophomore and junior year in college, it really changed my life in that I realized what type of an opportunity I was squandering. Um,
Mm.
and I got back and really got after it in school, graduated on time, but yeah, like I said, it was something else to kind of see all of my cousins who are a million times smarter than I am not get the opportunity that I got that I have, and but yet they were still living their lives in Vietnam, very happy, but I just couldn't help but think to myself, I got to do more. So yeah,
Mm.
like I said, it changed my life, and so I want to do that to my daughter. Hopefully that'll change her life in a positive way when we take that trip.
Good for you, man.
Yeah,
November. I got it on my calendar,
that's
brother.
right. That's right. We got to go together. Let's
Oh
go.
no, oh no, I'm going. I'm
Okay.
going. And I would love to we'll meet up and have lunch or dinner
Absolutely.
one day there. So
Yeah.
I've always I had some friends of mine went there back in the war
Hmm.
when the States was involved, and some of them came back, and frankly some of them didn't. And
Hmm.
I've always wanted to go there. And so when we were talking, you said that's where I'm from,
Yeah.
and so yeah, we'll be there next November. All right, my man.
All right.
I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for such an inspiring story. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, Carl. It's been an honor to be on this call. I can't, like again, I got to pinch myself. I can't believe I'm on it. I appreciate you.
Well, somebody's listening to this and you're inspiring them, just like Chris Haynes and the hundreds of others
Yeah,
have inspired you. So thank you, brother.
that's right. Appreciate you. Have a good day.
All right, great stuff. Hey, just real quick before I sign off, I did this on the last episode. I'm going to do it one more time here. So I'm starting a new group that is it's more of an accountability group. And on this accountability group, so we're going to be doing two things. There's masterminding and there's coaching. So masterminding is the sharing of ideas, and we're going to be doing that. But what really moves the needle, coaching is accountability, right? It's accountability. Most of us know exactly what we need to do. We just need help doing it, like showing up, being accountable to somebody, but not being accountable with a stick, but being accountable with a hug, with another like-minded people that are looking to go to that next level. And we're going to be doing it together in a very, very small group. So I'm getting ready to release this, and it's going to be a very, very small group. I'm personally leading it. So if you just, what could you do? Do me a favor, shoot an email to Diane. So Diane at themarketinganimals.com, Diane at themarketinganimals.com. And Diane is spelled the normal English way, Diane, Diane at themarketinganimals.com. And just put in the subject line Carl's group. That'll probably work good as anything, Carl's group. And so we had some come in from the last podcast where I did it. We've got room for about four more because again, I'm keeping this very small. That's not a scarcity thing. Like we really are keeping it to a very small group. You'll see when you get on there. So anyway, get Diane. She'll hook you up, tell you all the details about it. And boy, it's a perfect time of the year to start this. So we're going to start it before the end. We're getting ready to start it. And so love for you to be a part of it. Diane at themarketinganimals.com. All right. Other than that, thanks a lot for being here. Thanks so much for spending your time with me. And I'll talk to you when you call in. And I'll see you on the next episode of Loan Officer Freedom. Thanks again, everybody. Bye bye.